everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We're on to the divisional round now, 2 steps away from playing on the biggest stage in sports. It's the Giants going up against the Saints. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the New York Giants and the New Orleans Saints. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
One of 2 spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB. He'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll set up a throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. And to give this time to the tailback. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Hey, set, blue line it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even add a little extra at the end with a short run.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the 1st here on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he stopped immediately there. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. 2 yards to go here on 3rd down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
2 receivers left, one to the right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
Let's go!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That draw play got blown up by the blitz of the defense. Ordinarily, that's exactly what you want. You want them to blitz, and they go past you, and you go past them for a big gain. But in this situation, they hit him at the worst possible spot, right exactly where you're running the draw, and he got in there and got him.
Now on 3rd and long, he's got a man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2nd down now after the pass completion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. You give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
In the red zone this time. They run the counter now on first down. And he's got this one down to the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
1st and goal from the 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Giants are in for 6. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Giants defense now ready as they trot back out onto the field. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew, so they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense and say, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Heading back out there now, the Saints defense. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Now the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll look to throw here. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here we go now. Green 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Let's go. Boom, land it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
He'll look to throw. And they're going to bring him down. Back across midfield at the 45. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And New York set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
5 receivers in the game, 4 of them to the left side. Looking to throw. Surveying the field. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. As they run the counter play. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So that's the word from the referee. Neutral zone infraction, 5 yards.
And, of course, the defense is always pointing at the offense about how they drew them across. Flag goes against the defenders on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a gain of a yard, but but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're...
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
3rd down now following the run. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
Gun. They'll look to throw to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Back to throw here. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. That's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw. To the sideline. And oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
To throw now on 1st down. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd down following the incompletion. They'll look to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 9 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the 1st half. Right now, we've got a tie game, and that just means exciting football for us in the 2nd half, as we'll have 2 teams playing 2 quarters to decide a winner. All right, let's do it. Here's a look at the 1st half highlights. Giants with the ball midway through 1. Here a throw deep down the field is caught, and he'll end up at the 45-yard line before being tackled. Giants still on the field. Handoff and run goes up the middle, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. That puts them up by a touchdown. Now after the fumble, they're going to come away with another sack. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Midway through the 2nd quarter, Thomas is wide open, able to make the grab. And he'll take this all the way for a touchdown. Saints tied up at 7. So that's going to do it for us. We'll send you back now to field level for